Do you know the one skill that shapes your career, relationships, and confidence? It's not money. It's not looks. It's communication. In this video, you'll discover 10 powerful communication tips that can completely transform your personality and open doors you never thought possible. From body language mastery and storytelling magic, to emotional intelligence, voice control, and the hidden power of vulnerability. These are the real strategies used by leaders, speakers, and influencers worldwide. Whether you want to speak English fluently, get respect in any room, or simply connect deeply with people, this video will show you how. Follow these steps and your words will no longer just be words, they'll be unforgettable. Welcome, champions! Today's video is not just any ordinary video, it's something that could truly transform your life. Because today, we are talking about something that can change your career, your income, your self-respect, and your entire life. Think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed that when someone communicates well, when someone speaks with power, clarity, and charm, they get better jobs, they earn higher salaries, they attract better opportunities, they command respect whether they are in the office, at a party, or in any room they enter. And you know what? Sometimes we meet very ordinary-looking people. They are not movie stars, not billionaires, not famous, just simple people. But when they start speaking, we feel something different. Their words have weight. Their presence feels magnetic. We enjoy talking to them. We feel good around them, and we want to meet them again and again. Why? Because communication is the real superpower. Communication is the real beauty. Now listen carefully. If you want to have a strong personality, a personality that people admire, respect, and remember, you must understand one golden mantra. Speak good, speak well, speak clearly. And what does that mean? It means when you open your mouth, your words should have a purpose. They should be arranged beautifully. They should be clear like crystal. You should think before you speak and space out what you want to say. Remember, a clear mind plus clear words equals a powerful personality. In this video, I will give you 10 solid tips that are practical, actionable, and easy to practice. These are not boring theories. These are real techniques that will bring you real results. I can promise you, if you stay with me till the end, and if you practice what I am about to share, your communication skills will change forever. 100% guarantee. And guess what? Watching this video will not only improve your communication skills, but it will also help you improve your English listening and speaking at the same time. So make sure you watch till the end. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more life-changing content like this. Let's begin. Let's transform. Tip 1. Say without saying. Now, this is very powerful and very few people know about it. According to psychology, people form their first impression about you in just 7 seconds. Before you even open your mouth properly, people have already decided 70% about you, whether you are confident, intelligent, likable, trustable, or not. How crazy is that? So what does it mean? It means you are speaking even when you are not speaking. Your body language, your facial expression, your eye contact, your smile, your posture, your energy, everything is already communicating a powerful message. Let me give you a powerful real-life example. Imagine two candidates are sitting in a job interview waiting room. Both have the same degree, same skills. One candidate is sitting slouched, looking at his phone, bored, tired. Another candidate is sitting straight, shoulders relaxed, a gentle smile on the face, calm and positive energy. Who do you think the interviewer will like more even before asking the first question? Of course, the second candidate. Why? Because his nonverbal communication already says, I am confident, I am professional, I respect myself and others. Your body speaks louder than your words. Here's what you should always remember. Walk into a room with confidence. Even if you're scared inside, smile naturally, not fake, but gentle and warm. Keep your back straight. It shows strength. Make eye contact. It shows honesty and connection. Avoid fidgeting or playing with your hands. It shows nervousness. Master this 7-second rule and you will win half the battle before you even speak, because people feel your energy first. Then they listen to your words. Tip 2. Storytelling. Now listen carefully. If you want to capture hearts, inspire minds, and stay memorable, you need to master the art of storytelling. Storytelling is the king of communication. Why? Because facts tell, but stories sell. When you tell a story, people listen naturally, people connect emotionally, people remember it for a long time. Example: imagine you are trying to teach someone the importance of hard work. You could simply say, hard work is important, boring, forgettable, or you could tell them a short story. Let me tell you about a boy named David. David came from a small village, no electricity, no internet, but every night, he studied under a streetlight because he had a dream to become a doctor. People laughed at him, but 10 years later, David saved the life of the same people who once mocked him. Now, which one will touch the heart more? Which one will stay in memory longer? Of course, the story. That's the power of storytelling in any situation. Whether you are giving a speech, in a meeting, teaching something, or just making a point in a conversation, use stories. Use real-life examples. Paint a picture in the listener's mind because human brains are wired for stories. Since the ancient times when people sat around campfires and shared wisdom through stories. Remember, make your story short but emotional. Add a little struggle, a little victory. Make the listener see themselves in the story. If you become a good storyteller, people will love talking to you, listening to you, and learning from you. And not just that, you will become unforgettable. Tip 3. Empathy. If you want to become a master communicator, if you want people to trust you, like you, open up to you, then you must develop one magical quality: empathy. What is empathy? Empathy means feeling what others feel. It's the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's about listening with your heart, not just with your ears. Why is empathy important for communication? Because when people feel that you truly understand them, they feel safe around you, they trust you, they respect you, they open their heart to you. Without empathy, communication becomes dry, cold, and meaningless. Let's understand with a powerful example. Imagine you are telling your friend about a problem at work. You are stressed. You feel alone. One friend listens and immediately says, "Oh, don't worry. It's nothing. Just forget it." He didn't really listen. He didn't really care. But another friend looks at you carefully, listens patiently, nods gently, and says, "I can see how stressful it must be for you. It's really tough to feel like that at work. You're not alone, and I'm here if you want to talk more." Now, tell me, whom would you feel closer to? Whom would you trust more? Whom would you want to keep in your life? Of course, the second friend, because empathy creates connection. How can you show empathy while communicating? Listen actively. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Really listen. Acknowledge their feelings. You don't always have to fix their problem. Just show you understand. Use words that show understanding like, "I can imagine how that feels. It sounds like you're going through a lot. Thank you for sharing that with me." Be present. Put away distractions. Give them your full attention. Here's a real-world bonus. In sales, in leadership, in relationships, The people who succeed the most are not the ones who talk the most, but the ones who listen with empathy. Because when you make someone feel understood, you win their heart forever. Tip 4. The sweetest sound. One of the greatest secrets of powerful communication was beautifully said by Dale Carnegie, the famous author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. He said, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language." Yes, it's true. When you use someone's name correctly during a conversation, you instantly make them feel special, seen, and important. But why? Because a name is not just a word. It is a person's identity, their childhood memories, their family's voice, their sense of self. When you say someone's name warmly, you are touching their soul, not just their ears. You walk into a busy Starbucks. There's music playing, people chatting, the smell of fresh coffee everywhere. You order your drink. Say, "Hi, I'll have a caramel macchiato. Name's Andrew." The cashier smiles, notes it down. 5 minutes later, you're standing near the counter with 10 other people waiting. The barista looks around, holds up the cup, and calls out, "Caramel macchiato for Andrew. Have an awesome day, Andrew," with a bright, energetic voice. At that moment, you feel a little spark. You're not just an order number. You're not just another face. You feel seen. You feel remembered. And guess what? It's such a small thing. Just your name. But it makes the experience feel personal, friendly, and positive. You might even smile back and think, "I like coming here. These people are nice." That's the hidden magic in business meetings, friendships, interviews. When you use someone's name genuinely, they feel important. They feel a connection. And once people feel connected to you, opportunities, trust, and success naturally follow. Important tip: use names naturally, not every 2 sentences. Use it when greeting, while making a point, and when closing a conversation. With warmth, not force. Always remember, in a world where everyone wants attention, simply remembering and using someone's name makes you unforgettable. Tip 5. Emotional intelligence. This tip is life-changing. If you truly master this, you will rise higher in relationships, business, leadership, everywhere. What is emotional intelligence? It is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and understand and influence the emotions of others. And what's the most powerful part of emotional intelligence? It's learning to respond, not react. What's the difference? Reacting is automatic, emotional, impulsive. Responding is thoughtful, calm, intelligent. Imagine you are in a meeting. Someone criticizes your idea publicly. If you react, you get angry. Your face turns red. You say something rude. Now you look bad, emotional, unprofessional. But if you respond, you stay calm. You take a deep breath. You say, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll think more about it and maybe we can discuss improvements together." Result? You look strong. You look mature. You win respect. You build bridges instead of walls. Let's take a personal example. At home, your partner says something hurtful in an argument. You feel hurt, angry. If you react immediately, you scream, you say hurtful things too, and now the fight becomes worse. But if you take a breath, stay silent for a few seconds, and then say calmly, "I'm feeling hurt right now. Let's talk when we both feel calmer." Now you are protecting your relationship. You are being wise, not weak. How can you build emotional intelligence and learn to respond, not react? Pause before you speak always. Even 3 seconds can change everything. Name your emotion. Are you feeling angry, sad, insecure? Label it. Ask yourself, what is the best way to respond that serves the situation? Remember your bigger goal. Winning a moment's argument is useless if you lose a relationship. Leaders, great speakers, excellent communicators, they are all emotionally intelligent. They stay calm under pressure. They choose their words carefully. They stay centered even when storms are around them. Emotional intelligence equals inner strength plus outer influence. Tip 6. Echoing technique. If you want to become an unforgettable communicator, you must master the art of echoing. What is echoing technique? Echoing means you repeat a small part of what the other person just said in a natural, warm way. Why does this work? Because it shows the other person that you are truly listening. You care about what they are saying. You are inviting them to share more. It makes the speaker feel understood, and it encourages them to open up even deeper. How does it look in real life? Example 1. Your friend says, "I've been feeling very stressed at work lately." You reply by echoing "stressed at work." Notice you are not giving advice. You are simply reflecting their feeling back. This invites them to continue. "Yeah, my manager keeps giving me impossible deadlines." Now the conversation deepens naturally. Example 2. Your colleague says, "I finally finished the project after 3 months." You echo 3 months? That sounds like a massive project. Again, the person will feel encouraged to share more. "Yes, it was exhausting, but so worth it. I learned so much." You just made them feel valued and important, all by using the simple magic of echoing important. Don't repeat everything, just a keyword or emotion. Use a warm, curious tone, not mechanical, in negotiations, sales, and conflict resolution. Echoing is a hidden superpower. When someone feels you are truly understanding them, they become much more willing to cooperate. Tip 7. Voice modulation. You can have the best words in the world, but if your voice is flat, dull, or robotic, people will lose interest. Your voice is your music. What is voice modulation? Voice modulation means controlling the pitch high or low, pace fast or slow, and pauses, silent gaps, while speaking to make your communication approachable, live, and magnetic. Let's break it down. Pitch, highs and lows. Pitch is the height of your voice. If you speak always high-pitched, you sound anxious or irritating. If you speak always low-pitched, you sound boring and sleepy. Great communicators vary their pitch naturally. They go higher when they get excited. They go lower when they are serious. Example, telling a success story, excited tone, and then we won the competition. Higher pitch, emotional tone, it wasn't easy. There were nights we almost gave up. Lower pitch, pace, speed of speaking. Pace is how fast or slow you speak. If you speak too fast, people feel stressed. If you speak too slow, people feel sleepy. You must change your speed based on your message. Example, fast pace for excitement. The moment we saw the results, we jumped, screamed, hugged. It was unbelievable. Slow pace for serious points, but deep inside, we knew the real work had just begun. Control the speed, control the emotions, pause the silent power. A pause is a short moment of silence. Pausing after a key point makes people absorb your words, feel suspense, respect your message. Example, sometimes the smallest decisions change your entire life. Those pauses create depth. They pull the audience in. They make your words feel heavier and more powerful. Top TEDx talk speakers master voice modulation. They sound like they are singing a story, not reading a boring script. If you master your voice, you master people's hearts. Tip 8. Broken record technique. Have you ever faced someone who won't take no for an answer, tries to argue endlessly, pushes you into uncomfortable situations? In such cases, One of the most powerful communication techniques is the broken record technique. What is it? You calmly repeat your main point again and again without getting emotional until the other person understands you are serious, just like an old broken record. It keeps repeating the same line. Why is this technique powerful? Because it shows firmness without aggression. It protects your boundaries. It forces the other person to respect your decision. You must repeat calmly without anger, without sarcasm. Example 1. Someone keeps pushing you to drink alcohol at a party. You don't want to. Them? Come on, just one drink. You calmly, no thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. Them? Oh, don't be boring. You still calm. No thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. Them? Just a little. You still calm? Smiling? No thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. After 2 or 3 times, they will give up because you didn't argue, explain, or justify. You stood your ground calmly. Example 2. In business negotiation, the client demands extra services without extra payment. You simply repeat, "We'd love to help, but that would require an additional fee." No arguing, no justifying, just calm. Professional repetition. Don't fight. Don't explain too much. Just repeat your boundary calmly. Over time, people respect you even more because you stay professional, stay confident, stay in control. Tip 9. Humor. Humor is not just about telling jokes. It's about bringing lightness, warmth, and human connection into your conversations. Why is humor so powerful? It breaks tension. It makes people feel comfortable. It creates instant bonding. It shows you are approachable, not arrogant. It makes your words stick in their memory longer. If you can make people smile, you can make people trust you. And trust is the foundation of all powerful communication. But humor doesn't mean becoming a clown. It doesn't mean making fun of others. It's about being light, relatable, and sometimes laughing at yourself. Imagine you're in a serious job interview. The interviewer asks, "Tell us about a time you made a mistake." You could answer stiffly and nervously, or you could lightly smile and say, "Only one mistake?" Because I have a whole collection. Then you naturally move into your real answer. What happens? The interviewer relaxes. They smile. They remember you. You come across as confident and human. Humor created connection. You're having a tough negotiation. Tension is high. Everyone looks serious. You notice everyone is drinking black coffee. You smile and say, "Looking at all this coffee, I'm guessing we're negotiating caffeine rights today." 2. People laugh. Tension melts. The room softens. What happens next? Because people relax, they become more open, less defensive, and more willing to listen. Humor disarmed the tension. You're giving a speech about teamwork. Instead of starting seriously, you say, "They say teamwork makes the dream work, unless the dream is to take a long nap, in which case I work better alone." People laugh. They immediately connect to you. Your speech becomes memorable because you weren't just lecturing. You were sharing and relating how to use humor the right way. Be self-deprecating. Make small jokes about yourself, not others. Be situational. Notice funny things around you. Be natural, not forced. Don't insult anyone. People who laugh with you trust you, and people who trust you follow you. When you use humor smartly, you become unforgettable. Tip 10. Vulnerability. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability means being honest, open, and real about your feelings, experiences, and mistakes without pretending to be perfect. Many people think vulnerability is weakness, but in reality, it is your greatest strength. When you show your real self, people trust you, connect with you, and respect you even more. Because here's a deep truth. Everyone is fighting a silent battle inside. When they see your honesty, they feel less alone. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects two hearts. Why is vulnerability so powerful? It builds instant trust. When you are open, others feel safe to be open too. It makes you relatable. Nobody is perfect. When you show your struggles, people feel you are just like me. It shows confidence. Only a strong person can admit their flaws without fear. It creates deep emotional impact. When you share your pain, dreams, or lessons, it touches the listener's heart. When people feel your emotions, they remember you forever. But wait, vulnerability is not oversharing everything about your life, crying in every conversation, talking only about your problems. Vulnerability means sharing the right real story at the right time in the right way to create connection, not pity. Imagine this situation. You are giving a motivational talk. You are on stage. The audience expects you to be perfect. You could stand tall and say, "I have always been successful. Life is amazing." And people would admire you for 5 minutes, but they won't connect deeply. Or you could begin like this. 5 years ago, I was completely broken. I had just lost my job. My bank account was empty. Every morning, I woke up feeling useless. One day, I sat alone in my tiny kitchen looking at a packet of instant noodles, and I realized that was all I could afford for dinner. I thought, is this what my life has become? But that night, something inside me decided this is not the end. This is the beginning. Slowly, step by step, I started rebuilding my life. Today, I stand here not because I never fell, but because I learned how to stand up after falling again and again. What happens after you share this? The audience leans forward. Some have tears in their eyes. Some nod silently, feeling your pain. Some smile, feeling hope inside them. They will never forget you because they saw themselves in your story. You didn't come across as a superhero. You came across as a warrior. And people admire warriors, not superheroes. Simple step-by-step guide. How to use vulnerability smartly. 1. Choose a real moment from your life. Struggle, fear, failure. 2. Be honest, but keep it short and meaningful. 3. Focus on the lesson, not just the pain. 4. Share it naturally, like you're telling a trusted friend. 5. End with hope. Show how you overcame it. Remember this. Walls keep people out. Vulnerability invites people in. When you dare to be vulnerable, you don't just talk to people's minds, you touch their souls. And touching souls is what makes communication powerful, unforgettable, and viral. Real communication is not mind to mind, it's heart to heart. And only vulnerability can open that door. Communication isn't about impressing others with your words. It's about connecting with them on a deeper level. It's about building trust, understanding, and creating powerful bonds that last. You don't need to be perfect to communicate well. You just need to be authentic, present, and real. So, practice these 10 tips every single day. And soon, you'll not only change how you speak, you'll change how people feel when they listen to you. And that, my friend, is true power. Your words will no longer just be words. They will be inspiring, impactful, and memorable. If you apply these tips, I'm confident you'll see the results in your career, in your relationships, and in your self-confidence. And always remember, communication isn't just about what you say, but how you make others feel when they hear you. So go ahead, speak with clarity, speak with confidence, and most importantly, speak with your heart. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing tips on how to master communication and make every conversation count. Now go out there and speak your truth, because the world is waiting to hear it. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and felt that sinking pit in your stomach? Because you knew you didn't say what you wanted to say? Maybe your mind froze. Maybe your words stumbled. Maybe your voice felt too small. And as you replay the moment in your head, you wonder, what if I had spoken with more confidence? What if I had connected better? What if my words had truly landed? Let me ask you this. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers? Not because you weren't talented enough, not because you weren't smart enough, but because you didn't communicate well enough? Think about it. A job interview where you had the skills but not the words. A relationship where the silence grew louder than the conversation. A moment where your ideas deserved to shine, but your delivery dimmed their light. That's the price of poor communication, and it is a price far too many people pay every single day. My friend, this is not just about English. This is not just about grammar rules or pronunciation drills. This is about your future. This is about how far you go, how many doors open, how many people believe in you. Communication is the bridge between your thoughts and the world. Without that bridge, your dreams remain locked inside your head. But when you build it strong, when you make it powerful, you become unstoppable. Welcome to this journey. My name is Mark, and for the last 10 years, I have studied, practiced, and taught communication, not just in English, but in life. Today, I'm going to give you 10 powerful tips to boost your communication skills. Not empty theories, not boring lectures, real, living, breathing techniques that can change the way you speak, connect, and lead. But before we dive into the tips, let me ask you, what do you want from life? Do you want freedom? The freedom to travel, to express yourself, to feel understood? Do you want success? The career, the income, the recognition you deserve? Do you want love? The deep, authentic relationships that are built on trust and understanding? Then you must master communication, because money follows connection, opportunities follow influence, and love follows the courage to speak your truth. So let me push you with a hard question. Today, right now, what have you actually done to move closer to that dream? Did you practice speaking, even for 10 minutes? Did you read something aloud to sharpen your flow? Did you listen with real focus when someone else was talking? Or did you let another day slip away, telling yourself you'll improve someday? My friend, someday is a thief. Someday steals your voice, your potential, your chance. If you don't act today, then when? I know what it feels like to struggle. Years ago, I had a student named Leo. He was brilliant, full of ideas. But when it came time to speak, his body betrayed him. His hands shook. His words broke. He looked down, avoiding eyes, as if hiding from judgment. People didn't see his intelligence. They only saw his silence, and he hated himself for it. He thought communication was a gift others were born with, not a skill he could learn. But something changed. One day, Leo hit his breaking point. He was passed over for a promotion. Again? Not because he lacked ability, but because his boss said, "You don't know how to express yourself clearly." That pain cut deep. That was his turning point. He came to me and said, "Mark, I refuse to live like this. Teach me." And together, we rebuilt him from the ground up. We practiced breathing, listening, storytelling, eye contact, pauses. It wasn't easy. He failed again and again, but slowly, something powerful happened. His voice grew steady, his eyes lifted, his words began to flow, and then one day, in a meeting full of executives, Leo stood tall and delivered an idea so clear, so confident, that the entire room nodded in agreement. He walked out of that room, promoted, and that's what I want for you, to go from silence to strength, from doubt to dominance, from hiding to shining. So let's begin with the first secret. If you want to boost your communication, you must understand that speaking well does not start with the mouth. It starts with the mind. Your thoughts shape your words, and your words shape your world. Before you speak to others, you must speak to yourself. What are you telling yourself before you walk into a conversation? Are you saying, I hope I don't mess up? Or are you saying, I have something valuable to share? That mental dialogue decides everything. The second secret is this. Communication is not about you. It is about the other person. Too often, we speak to impress, to prove, to show off. But true communication is about connection, not performance. You don't win people over by talking louder or longer. You win them over by making them feel seen, heard, and valued. That means asking questions, listening with your whole being, leaning in with genuine interest. Imagine how different your conversations would be if instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you truly tried to understand. And here's the third. Your body speaks before your mouth does. People notice your posture, your eyes, your gestures, your presence. Walk into a room slouched, avoiding eye contact, and your words will carry no weight. Walk in with shoulders back, eyes forward, energy alive, and you command attention before a single word escapes your lips. Leo learned this. He realized that by lifting his chin and holding his gaze, he created confidence even before he spoke. But let's not stop there. The fourth secret, simplify. Too many people hide behind complicated words, long sentences, or endless explanations. They think complexity equals intelligence. But the truth, simplicity is genius. The greatest communicators, leaders, teachers, storytellers, they all master clarity. They strip away the unnecessary until only the pure, sharp message remains. If you want to connect with people, don't try to sound smart. Try to be clear. And here's a fifth. Tell stories. Facts may inform, but stories transform. Think about it. Do you remember the last statistic you read? Or the last story that touched you? Stories cut through noise. They bypass logic and go straight to the heart. When Leo told his colleagues about his own struggles, they leaned in, they related, they remembered, and suddenly, he wasn't just a coworker, he was a leader they trusted. My friend, these are only the first 5 keys, and they can already change your life if you apply them. But remember, knowledge is cheap. Action is priceless. You can watch 100 videos, read 1,000 books, but until you step into a conversation and try, nothing will change. This is just the beginning, because in the next 5 tips, we're going to go even deeper into voice, timing, emotion, and influence. By the end, you won't just know how to communicate, you will feel it, you will live it. Now let's go deeper. The 6th secret to powerful communication is mastering your voice. Your voice is an instrument, and most people never learn to play it. They rush through words, flatten their tone, or mumble as if they're apologizing for speaking. But imagine your voice like music, rising, falling, pausing, striking with force, then softening with intimacy. When you learn to use volume, tone, and rhythm, your words stop being sounds and start becoming experiences. People don't just hear you, they feel you. Think of the leaders, preachers, or storytellers who moved your heart. It wasn't just what they said, it was how they said it. The 7th secret is timing. Communication is not only about what you say, but when you say it. Have you ever watched a comedian deliver a joke? The magic is in the pause. Too early, and it falls flat. Too late, and the tension dies. But with perfect timing, the punchline lands with power. The same applies to life, in a business pitch, in a negotiation, in a heart-to-heart talk. Your pauses can be more powerful than your sentences. A well-placed silence makes people lean in. It gives your words gravity. Leo practiced this. He used to rush through everything, as if afraid people would interrupt. But when he learned to pause, suddenly the room leaned toward him, hanging on his words. The eighth secret: emotion. People may forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Too many speakers strip emotion out of their voice, believing professionalism means sounding robotic. But the truth is, emotion is the bridge of connection. If you're passionate, let it ignite. If you're serious, let the weight show. If you care, let people hear it in your tone. Communication without emotion is lifeless. Communication with emotion is unforgettable. And here's the ninth: adapt to your audience. A great communicator does not speak the same way to everyone. They read the room. They adjust their language, their pace, their energy. Think about it. The way you explain something to a child is not the way you explain it to a CEO. The way you inspire your best friend is not the way you inspire a stranger. Adaptation is not manipulation, it's respect. It's saying, I care enough to meet you where you are. Leo learned this when he started presenting to different teams. At first, he used the same style with everyone, but once he began adjusting his approach, tailoring his examples, and speaking the language of his listeners, his influence skyrocketed. Finally, the 10th secret: authenticity. This one is the foundation. Without it, everything else crumbles. You can master your voice, perfect your timing, and craft beautiful stories. But if people sense you are fake, it's over. Authenticity is not about being flawless. It's about being real. It's about speaking from your own experience, your own truth, your own values. People don't want polished robots. They want raw humanity. They want to hear your scars, your doubts, your lessons. They want to feel that behind the words. There is a beating heart. That's why Leo's greatest breakthrough wasn't when he spoke perfectly. It was when he spoke honestly. He stopped hiding behind jargon and started saying, "This is what I struggled with. This is what I learned." That honesty drew people to him. Now, let's pause here, because I want you to see the pattern. These 10 secrets are not just techniques. They are transformations. They turn communication from a skill into a weapon, from a habit into a superpower. Imagine if you combined them all: clarity, storytelling, body language, listening, voice, timing, emotion, adaptation, authenticity. Do you see how unstoppable you would become? But here's the truth. Knowing these secrets is not enough. You have to live them. You have to practice them every single day. Because communication is not a performance you switch on and off. It is a lifestyle. It is the way you order your coffee, the way you greet your neighbor, the way you speak in a meeting, the way you comfort a friend. Every moment is practice. Every conversation is training. And this is where the real story begins. Because for many of you watching, the problem is not ignorance. It's fear. You already know some of these things, but you hesitate. You second guess. You let anxiety choke your voice. And that fear is stealing your life. Fear of rejection. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. You tell yourself, I'll speak up next time, but then next time comes, and you stay quiet again. Let me tell you the harsh truth. Fear will not go away on its own. You cannot wait until you feel ready. Confidence does not come before action. It comes after action. You must step into the fire of communication, shaky voice and trembling hands, until the fire no longer burns you. That's what Leo did. He spoke while afraid. He stumbled in front of people. He made mistakes. And through those mistakes, he built strength. He learned that rejection did not kill him. Judgment did not destroy him, and failure was not the end. It was the beginning. Think about your own life. How many times have you stayed silent when you should have spoken? How many times have you let fear steal your opportunity? And how much longer will you allow it to rule you? Because every time you choose silence over speech, you reinforce weakness. But every time you choose speech over silence, you reinforce strength. I want you to imagine something right now. Picture yourself 1 year from today. Imagine you have mastered these 10 secrets. You walk into a room, and people notice your presence. You speak, and people listen. You share your ideas, and people respect them. You express your heart, and people connect with it. Your career advances, your relationships deepen, your influence grows. That version of you is possible, but only if you begin today. And here's the challenge. Communication is not built in grand leaps. It's built in daily steps. You don't become powerful overnight. You become powerful every time you choose to practice. Talk to strangers. Tell stories at dinner. Speak up in meetings. Record yourself and listen back. Push yourself into uncomfortable conversations. Each step feels small, but each step builds a giant. Leo became a leader not because he studied theory, but because he practiced daily. He embraced discomfort. He failed forward, and slowly. The man who once avoided eye contact became the man others followed. His life changed, not because he got lucky, but because he refused to stay silent. My friend, you have that same choice. Will you let fear write your story, or will you take the pen back and write it yourself? Will you hide in the shadows of silence, or will you step into the light of expression? The world is not waiting for perfect words. The world is waiting for your voice. Let me take you into the moment when everything shifts, because communication is not just theory, it's flesh and blood, heartbeat and sweat. I remember the day Leo told me about his first major breakthrough. He had been invited to present a project to a group of senior leaders. Just a few months earlier, the thought would have paralyzed him. His hands would have shaken, his throat would have closed, his words would have scattered like broken glass. But this time, he remembered the 10 secrets. He stood tall, shoulders back. He breathed deep. He told himself, "I belong here." As he began, his voice wavered slightly, but he kept going. Then he paused, just as we had practiced. Silence filled the room. Instead of rushing, he let it breathe. People leaned in. He spoke again, this time with more weight, more rhythm. He didn't just list facts. He told a story. He painted a picture of the problem, the struggle, and the solution. He let his passion break through. He let his humanity show. And when he finished, there was no awkward silence, no polite clapping. There was thunderous applause. One of the executives even said, "That was the clearest, most compelling presentation we've heard in months." Leo walked out of that room taller than he had ever been. And he told me later, "Mark, it wasn't that I learned magic. It's that I finally stopped hiding." That is the moment communication transforms you. Not when you master a technique, but when you stop hiding from your own voice. Now I want you to picture your own version of that moment. Maybe it's a job interview where you finally speak with confidence, win the role you've been chasing. Maybe it's a conversation with someone you love, where you finally open up and say the words you've been holding inside for years. Maybe it's standing in front of a classroom, a boardroom, or an audience, and realizing that your words are shaping minds, moving hearts, even changing lives. This is not fantasy. This is not reserved for the gifted. This is for anyone willing to do the work. Because here's the raw truth. Communication is not about talent. It's about courage. The courage to speak when you feel small. The courage to stand tall when others doubt you. the courage to keep practicing when no one is clapping. But let me push even harder. Time is not your friend. Every day you stay silent is a day you cannot get back. Opportunities are passing you right now. People are making decisions about you not based on your intelligence or your heart, but on how you express yourself. Do you realize how serious that is? Life does not give you endless chances. You don't have a rehearsal for this. This is it. The clock is ticking, and the truth is brutal. You do not have forever. Every day you hesitate, fear grows stronger. Every day you choose silence, your dream drifts further away. Think of all the ideas buried in graves, all the stories never told, all the relationships broken by unspoken words. Do not let your voice be one of those lost forever. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? Let me answer you. You will. You will fail. You will embarrass yourself. You will say the wrong thing, stumble, forget. But that is not the end. It is the path. Every failure is a step closer to mastery. Every stumble is proof you're moving. The only true failure is silence. And when you accept that truth, something powerful happens. Fear loses its grip because the worst has already happened. You've failed. You've embarrassed yourself. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still alive. That realization makes you untouchable. Once you stop fearing mistakes, you become unstoppable. Let me tell you one more story. A young woman named Clara once told me she couldn't speak in public without shaking uncontrollably. She avoided every opportunity, every presentation, every chance to shine. But when she finally faced her fear, something extraordinary happened. She stood in front of her peers, trembling, voice cracking, and she admitted, "I am terrified right now, but I'm speaking anyway." Do you know what happened? The entire room applauded, not because her words were perfect, but because her courage was undeniable. That moment launched her confidence. She realized that honesty and bravery mattered more than perfection. That is the heart of communication, not perfection. Connection, not flawless delivery, fearless authenticity. When you show up real, when you show up brave, people forgive your mistakes. They admire your courage. They lean in because deep down, they see themselves in you. They too are afraid. They too have stumbled. And when they see you speak anyway, they believe they can too. So let me look you in the eye through this screen and tell you, stop waiting, stop doubting, stop hiding. You don't need another month of preparation, another year of silence. You need to speak now. Speak while afraid. Speak while imperfect. Speak while learning, because the world does not need another silent dreamer. The world needs your voice. And here's the climax. Your life will not change when you finally feel ready. It will change the moment you decide to speak before you're ready. It will change the moment you stop letting fear write your story. It will change when you claim your voice as your weapon, your bridge, your gift. So I ask you, how much longer will you wait? Another week? Another year? Another decade? No, enough. This is the day you draw the line. This is the day you decide. This is the day you speak. Listen carefully, because this is the part most people miss. Communication is not about proving yourself to the world. It is about unlocking yourself to the world. Your voice is not just sound. It is identity, influence, and power. When you hide yourself. But when you release it, you give the world permission to know you, follow you, and believe in you. Think about history. The leaders we remember are not the ones who stayed silent. They are the ones who spoke. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't stay silent. He had a dream and he declared it. Winston Churchill didn't stay silent. He rallied a nation with his words. Nelson Mandela didn't stay silent. He spoke of freedom, even from a prison cell. Their voices outlived them. Their words became immortal. And you, my friend, have a voice too. Maybe not to lead nations, but to lead your own life, your own family, your own destiny. Now let's bring it back to you tomorrow morning. When you wake up, you will face a choice. Will you continue with the same old patterns, waiting for someday to find your confidence? Or will you begin today, practicing, speaking, failing forward, and rising higher? You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to take one step. Start a conversation, share an idea, speak your truth. That single step is the seed of transformation. And don't underestimate what one seed can do. A seed looks small, fragile, even insignificant, but inside it is an entire forest, waiting to grow. That's what your words are. Small at first, maybe shaky, maybe imperfect, but inside them is influence, connection, success. If you keep planting, keep watering, keep speaking, the forest will grow. Your influence will expand. Your communication will shape your world. So here is the lesson I want etched in your heart. Communication is not about being perfect. It's about being present. Not about dazzling people with big words, but about connecting with real ones. Not about eliminating fear, but about speaking through it. The dream doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't pause for your hesitation. Your life will move with or without your voice. And the only question is, will you lead it with words that matter? Or will you watch silently as others do? Remember this truth. Dreams don't respond to silence. Opportunities don't respond to silence. People don't respond to silence. They respond to words spoken with courage. They respond to voices filled with conviction. They respond to authenticity that cannot be faked. That is why your future is waiting for you to speak. My friend, this is your moment. You have heard the 10 secrets. You have seen the stories. You have felt the urgency. Now the choice is yours. You can close this video, nod your head, and go back to life as usual. Or you can decide that today is the day you claim your voice, the day you practice with intention, the day you speak with courage, the day you begin building the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Because here is the ultimate truth. Your words shape your world. Speak with fear, and your world shrinks. Speak with faith, and your world expands. Speak with doubt, and doors close. Speak with clarity, and doors open. Speak with silence, and your life stalls. Speak with courage, and your life ignites. That is the power of communication. So let me leave you with this. Time is running, life is moving, and you have no second chance at this day. Speak now. Speak boldly. Speak authentically. Because the world does not need another silent dreamer. It needs you. And if this message struck something inside you, if you feel the pull to grow, to change, to rise, then don't let it fade. Subscribe right now, because here we dig deep into the lessons that don't just teach you English. They teach you life. Share this with someone you know who has been hiding their voice. Because together, we rise higher, and above all, watch till the end. Keep coming back, and keep speaking, because your dream is waiting, your opportunity is waiting, and your voice, your powerful, unshakable, unstoppable voice, is waiting. Take it, use it, and never, ever stay silent again.